Hey guys, Krell Cooper here with On the Black, and I'm joined by Vinny Cartiglia of Metszilla. What's going on, Vinny?
Nothing, Krell. How are you, man? Thank you for having me. I'm a big fan of what you're doing on the Black, and love it over there.
And same here, man. I love reading your blog, and I've been reading it since you started it, and I know you've it's become pretty popular for you. You've been doing it now for what, a little over a year now? 2 years?
No, it'll be a year actually in May. May, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I just gave you a little intro, but feel free to tell the listeners and viewers, more about yourself and Metszilla.
Well, we just, like everybody else, we're just fans that love the Mets, and we just have opinions on them just like everybody else. So, if you want to come check us out, that's where you can do it, at Metszilla.com.
Cool. So, as we were just talking about before I hit the record button, Mets lost today 11-0. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. They're returning home at 500. I mean, I guess it's, at least from my perspective, kind of what I expected. They took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins, lost 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. I mean, what are your thoughts on this recent series and the start of the season?
Well, if you talk to everybody else, I thought they were going to be 0-6 heading home. So I guess we got to be happy with that, right?
Yeah.
But no, really, I mean, I was excited. There was a lot of good things I saw this week. I mean, they were down 7-0. If this was 2010, you would turn. I was getting text messages. Should I turn the game off in the third inning?
Yeah.
And then Pagan hits the 2-run home run. They battle back to get the 7 runs. I mean, that's a nice sign right there. And even the other night when K-Rod blew the save in Florida, to see the team battle back. And then the best thing I saw this weekend was Jose Reyes and David Wright drive him in for the winning. I mean, I feel like I haven't seen that in 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, there's some good signs that I've seen over this weekend. And Chris Young looked solid, and R.A. Dickulus looked incredible. I mean, there were some good signs.
Yeah, I hear you. And I'm going to the home opener tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing Dickey. Are you going to the game tomorrow?
Unfortunately, I can't leave work on a Friday, so I'm going to miss my first home opener in 4 years, man.
Wow.
I'm very upset. The last one I missed was 5 years ago. Previously, before that, I went for 4 or 5 years straight. So I'm a little upset, man. I'm a little upset. I can't even be home to watch the game, so that makes it even more upsetting. But thank God for DVR,
Yeah, I hear you. And I got to be honest with you. I mean, I never went to a home opener until they opened Citi Field. I just always thought, home opener, crowds, I don't want to deal with it. And then I was so excited to see the opening of Citi Field. I went to that, and I was like, this isn't that bad. And I've gone to every one since they opened Citi Field, so I'm going to try to keep that going.
Yeah, you got to. I got my little guy, so I want to try to get him in the tradition too, but I'm a little upset with it this year. But, I mean, they're the best. We get there nice and early. We get the barbecue going. I make a mean parking lot burger. So whenever I'm at Citi Field, you want to come check me out. And I make a mean parking lot burger. And, that's the only way to do it, man. You're there and have a good time. The crowd's pumped. I'll tell you what, I hope nobody boos anybody tomorrow because from what they showed us this first week, we should be excited. And I hope Pelfrey actually gets a nice ovation tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think with Castillo and Perez off this team, there's not too many guys, you would want to boo, but, you led right into Pelfrey. I mean, he has not had a good start to this season at all. I think all of us expect more out of him than what he's shown so far. I mean, what are your thoughts on Pelfrey? You think there's something going on between the 2 ears, or what are your thoughts on him?
I got people telling me all day he's got a 2-cent head, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it was a little upsetting last night to see him biting the glove over that Pelfrey, and
right.
But I mean, we're at the point in his career where we can't really make excuses for him anymore. I mean, I found myself, I like Pelfrey a lot. I think he has nice stuff. He's that big, he stays after the game. He talks to reporters. He seems like a good kid, and you want to see him win. He's the homegrown talent. But it's at that point now. I can't make excuses for him anymore. I can't tell people that, he's going to mature and he's going to, eventually be consistent. I think this may be what we're going to see with him. And sometimes I start feeling, I heard him the other night where he said that, he should have called off Tolley and this and that. Sometimes I feel like maybe we should just call everything for him, so the less thinking he does, maybe the better he'll be. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scout. I don't pretend to be one, but I'm not sure. It seems like when he's up, he's not up high enough. And if his out pitch is a low and away sinker, he should be busting inside to lefties. And it seems like he just gets that pitch right out over the plate. And the Phillies made him pay yesterday.
Yeah, and to me, I mean, the biggest thing with him, and this has been throughout his whole career since he's been, at the major league level, he just doesn't have that put-away pitch. He doesn't strike guys out. I mean, we saw, the first at bat Going back to the first game of the series, it was like an 8-pitch at bat, against the Marlins, and he just, for whatever reasons, he gets to the 2-strike count and he just can't put guys away, and it's tough to be a front end of the rotation type of guy when you don't have a put away pitch. It just is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was Coughlin that at bat, right? I mean, Coughlin, He got the 2 on him. He just kept fouling off. He wound up walking him. That's like the story of Pelfrey his whole career. It's weird, too, because he's been in the majors for so long, though. You would think that he would have an out pitch. Like, Neese, to me, has an out pitch, and I could almost see Neese becoming more of a front-end starter than Pelfrey because of that reason. I think you're 100% right. He had second and third in that game. You almost knew he was walking that batter because he has no ability to strike him out. So you have to hope that Buck could hit the double play to get out of the inning. I mean, if he has that pitch, maybe he could pitch around him more selectively to try to get him to swing and miss. But at this point, he can't do that. And I think that's a big problem. I think it's always going to be a problem until he figures something out.
Right. And lastly, let me ask you about Terry Collins. I mean, again, 3-3. He's had an aggressive style of management, I think, so far over this first week. I mean, what are your impressions of the new Mets manager and how he's kind of handling the team and the lineup and the bullpen and all that stuff?
I mean, I like Terry Collins, I guess. I mean, when they were going through the whole manager thing, I really, honestly, I even wrote it on the blog a lot. I'm going to go with whoever Sandy Alderson picks because it's hard for me to judge a manager until you actually see him every day. Just like I think it was James from Amazing Avenue that wrote. I mean, Terry Manuel won a Manager of the Year award, and how great did that turn out for us? So, I mean, until you see a manager every day, you really don't get a feel for how he is. But I like what Terry Collins has done. I think the only thing I would gripe with, and I don't even think it's that big of a deal, was when Reyes was on first and he tried bunting with Pagan in the 10th that inning to give away the out. I mean, if you have Reyes on first, why not maybe try to hit and run or make him steal the base? But I don't even think it's that big of a deal. Everything else I think he's done, I've been pretty happy with. I think right now with the pen, I mean, the way he got to use it, you got to see what these guys are about at this point in the season. I mean, you don't even really know what Beardick is about or Boyer. So I have no problem with the way he's using the pen early in the season. I mean, I guess as the season progresses, we'll figure that out more. But right now, I think you got to get a feel for your guys and really see what makes them tick, what kind of situation to get them into. So I'm kind of excited with the way he's doing things. I don't know why Murphy was in left field today, but I'm a big Murphy fan, man. I mean, I got a man crush on Murphy, and I'm not afraid to say it. But
I'm probably the total opposite, and it just. That irked me so bad today to hear that he was in left field.
I know.
Really
I mean,
did.
Jay text messaged me and he said this is painful to watch Murphy and left and Duda and right. But I like Murphy a lot, but I do not want to see him in the outfield. I mean, if he's going to play, I guess put him at second or third. He looked all right at third once in a while, but I think he's a good pinch hitter. I think he comes off the bench well. I think he's proven that he can hit as a pinch hitter. Let's just leave it at that. I mean, what was that play with Pagan today? I mean, I don't even know what he was doing.
Yeah, if there's anything I'm going to say about Terry Collins this first week, that's the worst move he's made. Don't put him out there no more. I mean, okay, fine, 11-0, fine. Please don't do it again. That's all.
I'd rather see Chris Young in left field.
I hear you. Well, hey man, I want to thank you for joining me for this quick chat tonight. For those out there watching, please be sure to check Vinny and the rest of the gang over out at Metzilla. Vinny, I'll let you know how opening day was tomorrow, and I hope to meet you in person at Citi Field this summer.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there a lot. We'll definitely meet up. Like I said, I'll get you a nice cheeseburger on the grill over there in the parking lot. So
gotcha.
I'm
gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, definitely do, man. All right. Thank you for having me on. Like I said, I'm a big fan of your site. I really love what you're doing here.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Anytime.
All righty.